Hello, good evening, everyone. So we are here to record the presentation for the Human Resource Management Plan for Woolworth Supermarket. So my name is Sayed Ali and my student ID is 64364. Along with me, there are three group members, Rebelline, Nadia, and Adnan Khalid. So I will now move on to my first slide, which is the introduction. So the purpose of our presentation is to develop a human resource management plan for Woolworth Supermarket to address the key human resource issues. So let us talk about the background of this supermarket. So it is the one of the biggest retailer in Australia, which has over 1,000 stores all across Australia, and it employs more than 200,000 staff members, and it faces intense competition with the other competitors like Aldi and Coles. So our focus will be on two HR issues, as it is revealed by the former Sydney store manager who worked in the Woolworths from 2018 to 2022. So two of the key issues that Woolworths is facing is the wage underpayments and the unfair performance monitoring. So we have utilized the equity theory to address both these issues, and our objective is to enhance employee satisfaction, reduce employee turnover, and improve employees' performance. So what is the equity theory? So it is the theory that involves that the employees are motivated by fairness in the balance of their inputs and their outcomes as compared to the peers and the colleagues. So what is the key concept involved in this equity theory? So it says that the perceived inequity leads to the tension, like causing behavioral changes with reduced efforts and increased absenteeism. What are the advantages? It predicts motivational behaviors, and it is applicable to retailers for fair reward system. And these are some few drawbacks of this theory. It ignores individual differences and cultural factors, and it focuses solely on the distributive justice, neglecting the procedural fairness. From now onwards, I will hand over my slide to the Prabali.
So in this slide, I'm explaining about wage underpayments. In this slide explains a big problem our company has been underpaying its employees. The problem is that the company has systematically underpaid over 5,700 employees by about $571 million over the past decade. So this means problem is widespread, not just a few mistakes. A clear example is that one former manager worked more than 50 hours per week but was underpaid by about $15,000 because they didn't get the proper overtime or penalty pay. So why this thing is happened? Our payroll systems are not good enough. We don't regularly check our payroll to find mistakes. So the company has been under pressure to cut costs in very competitive market. So what's the effect of this? The first one is unfairness. People who work hard putting in many hours aren't getting the fair pay they deserve. So this is the opposite of a fair exchange. The next one is consequences. This unfairness causes employees to lose motivation, take more time off, and leave the company. So, this problem contributed to a 31.5% turnover rate in 2022. So, the last one is financial impact. It also hurt the company's bottom line in 2020. The cost of fixing these underpayments caused our profits to drop by 7.7%. So in next slide is underpaying performance is monitoring. So in this slide explains a second big problem. The way we are measuring employee performance is unfair and causing issues. So the main problem is we are using strict system that expects people to be working at 100% efficiency all the time. This system watches everything using tools like headsets and timers on tasks. So the next one, a clear example is one former manager was denied overtime pay and was afraid of being fired because they couldn't meet these damaging and sometimes impossible work goals. So why these things are happened? So the first thing is the company is focused on using automation to get as much work done as possible. So next one is the job design is bad. So it doesn't consider that people get tired and need to be safe. So the main effects of this is unfairness. Employees are putting in a lot of effort under pressure but not getting what they deserve in return, like a safe work environment and recognition for their hard work. So another thing is consequences. This leads to anger, resentment, and even on the job injuries. It also contributes to strikes that cost the company a lot money, about $50 million in 2024. And last one is high turnover. This unfairness makes the company's existing high turnover and absenteeism problems even worse. So now further explanation will Nadia give you for the presentation.
Now I will start our first recommendation, which is about making pay more fair and transparent. And the action is to carry out quarterly payroll audits using independent companies like PwC. This makes sure that employees are being paid directly for the hours they work. And if there are mistakes, retroactive payments, including interest and superannuation, would be added. This links to equity theory, which says people feel more motivated and satisfied when the rewards they get match the effort they put in. And to implement this, HR staff will be trained to use compliance software, and a confidential hotline will be set up so employees can report pay concerns safely. The expected outcomes are a reduction in staff turnover by around 15 to 20% and an increase in satisfaction and compliance. So overall, this recommendation builds trust, fairness, and better retention in the workplace. And now I will move to the next slide, revised performance metrics. Our second recommendation is about improving how performance is measured at work. And the action is to redesign efficiency frameworks to include gap times. This allows for breaks, congestion, and even fatigue. Employee service would also help in setting fair personal targets, and monitoring would be limited to group data rather than putting pressure on individuals. And this also links to the equity theory because it helps prevent unfair workload expectations and ensures fair processes for everyone. For implementation, we suggest starting with a pilot program in some warehouse and training staff on safe agronomic production practices. And the outcomes expected are fewer workplace injuries and reduced and improved motivation and safety. And so these recommendations ensures that performance measures are realistic, fair, and safe for employees. And now I will hand over to Adnan, who will take you through the next set of recommendations.
The next recommendation is enhance feedback and training action. Launch mandatory equity theory workshops for managers and anonymous feedback apps for staff from cross functional teams to address discrimination. Equality theory link promote transparent social comparisons, reducing perceived inequities. Implementation integrate into onboarding and annual reviews. Track satisfactions metrics. Expected outcomes improved workplace culture, reduced strikes, and higher engagement. Uh, the next slide is to conclude. Key insights wage underpayments and unfair monitoring create inequity, driving turnover and demotivation. Equity theories highlights need for the fair reward system to boost performance. Recommendation summary transparent audits, received metrics, and enhanced feedback restore equality. Limitations realized or single workplace experience. Equity theory uh, overlooks culture diversity in Australia. Future steps explore multiple cases or complementary theories like enhanced theory, expectancy theory. Goal foster a fair, super supportive environment for Woolworths for the 20 lakh employees. Thank you. This is the references at the end. Thank you so much.